All right, as promised, the final stop with your Pratt Pack tonight is the Larry Bruno Foundation. Of course, magicalcoach.org. Jimmy Mag's my buddy, having that big dinner July 29th. Mr. Higgins is going to introduce you to the first round of people that we're going to be talking to tonight here in Beaver Falls. Steve.
Well, as part of our 2023 inductees, we're going to have half the guys were invited today, and the other half we're going to have in another segment down the road. Coach Matrazzo's here with us. And Butch Russo is a board member, and
I'll take it. All right, let's start off with Traz. Traz, of course, came from Braddock, went to Geneva, and then went from that Reeve Stadium to the sidelines with Coach Bruno. You know, one of the things that I've never asked you, while you were attending Geneva, did you ever go to a high school football game in Beaver Falls?
Oh yeah, that's all of them.
So how in the world did this door open that Bruno said, "Come with me, young man"?
Well, the thing that happened was when I was a senior at Geneva, I did my student teaching at Beaver
Oh,
Falls.
nice. Okay.
So I was there. I got my foot in the door there, and then I naturally met Coach Bruno, and they just happened to have I can't remember if it was Abby Walton or one of the coaches from the previous year either left or retired or whatever, and he had an opening, so he asked me if I would want to coach.
So really a giant step for the young Larry Matrazzo. Now, Butch, you obviously a player who knew this guy as good, if not better than anyone else. So what was so magical about Larry Bruno?
I go back to what we were just watching in there with Joe Namath said. You know, he influenced a lot of people. I mean, he could probably bring out the best in you. He pushed you enough to realize that, that you had the potential to succeed no matter whatever you do. I mean, he was just that type of guy that, you could probably go up and ask a question of, he'd give you a pretty straight answer. At the same time, he's going to go out and show you too, and show you whatever it is you want, whatever it is you want to know, or, in that situation.
All right, listen, you guys are going to have to answer this question. So I'm in Elwood City yesterday with Nick Mancini, driving around Elwood City, and I'm pumping him for all this information. Now, do you think there's any truth that maybe Koppel, those athletes, ended up in Beaver Falls because they were such great athletes and didn't stay in Elwood City? Did Larry Bruno say, "I want those athletes from Koppel to come"?
I'll tell you what, they paid dividends, especially in my era, because that's when the Blackhawks split happened.
Right.
So I think Blackhawks' final season with Beaver Falls was the '72 season. The next season, they were Blackhawk, we were Beaver Falls. We had an influx of kids, our coach.
Yes.
From Koppel,
Sure
Big
did.
Beaver. We had the Baronis, the Creases, Pizzanos, the Sistos. We had these guys come in, and Rob, it was like our secret weapon.
Yeah.
Okay, because everyone said, "Oh, Beaver Falls is they're going to have a down time now because of the split."
Right.
But these kids came in from Koppel, and they were kind of like the nucleus of our team.
Go ahead, Trey.
Like leading into the '70s, Coach can comment.
Dominic Pizzani and Dave Doyle, I think, was from that.
Very
he was
underrated
from
player,
Koppel,
Dave
yeah.
Doyle.
Oh yeah, the Koppel kids really played a big role in our success.
So let me ask you, so you eventually leave and go to New Brighton. Did you ever coach up against Larry Bruno on the other side?
Yeah.
How'd that turn out?
Not too good. Not too good.
That's okay. Here's the question I want to ask you, because everybody asks me, because of our family connection, the best husband, father, grandfather, friend, the first coach I ever interviewed on the radio, the great Larry Matrazzo, continuing to teach your Pratt Pack every day in more ways than you can ever imagine. But why did you never coach again after New Brighton?
Well, you know what? I tried. To be honest with you, I felt all along for many years after I retired that I made a mistake in resigning. But I applied at Beaver Falls. In fact, I interviewed for the job when Rick Mancini got it.
There he is over there. Show him, Lance.
When Rick Mancini got the job.
We're going to talk to the judge in a moment.
But yeah, I interviewed a couple places, but I never.
I never had a chance to ask Coach Bruno this, but you think down deep he kind of thought maybe he would be the heir apparent to
We did, because
think that-
Coach was, again, when Rick was coming up, when I was coming up in the '70s, he was our offensive coordinator. He was young.
Yeah.
And we can relate to Coach Matrazo. We loved him because he kind of looked after us. He was like, don't let Coach see you do that. You know, he was making sure we walked the line and everything.
So,
And I think Coach looked at him as a successor.
so when you were there with Kevin Scanlon, he was
Yes.
the O coordinator. Do you think he threw the football enough for you being the wide receiver? Come on, look.
No.
You didn't? Okay.
We never threw enough.
Favorite memories, games, moments, Bruno-isms? Go ahead, Ronnie. Butch, rather. Go ahead.
We were playing Elwood City my junior year. Pat Tarquinio, it was his last season at Elwood. They had a good running back in Chuck Landolfi, and he was running around the corner, and Van Gormont and I tackled him, and Coach didn't get out of the way, and he went all the way to the fence, and we weren't sure he was going to get up. We went to the sideline a little bit later, and Coach Bruno said, he got up, he said that was the wrong thing to do. He said he should have hit him harder.
You know, I slipped and said Ronnie. I always think about Ron Shiro. Just quickly, talk about Ronnie a little bit. Stevie, you first.
Oh, Ronnie, I tell you, I grew up watching Ronnie play. Great athlete the whole way up from Sandlot baseball, Little League, all the way up through all three sports. And we're so lucky to have him as an inductee this year. We can't wait to get him, you know, into our Hall of Achievement. But probably our best right-handed pitcher. I think baseball was Ronnie's best sport. As good as a quarterback he was. He was, I mean, come on, in the Whitfield Championship game, he throws a one-hitter. The guy was phenomenal, okay? And then he went to Slippery Rock and played baseball, and he was drafted by the Pirates. So that was, you know, later on down the road. But yeah, Ron Shiro, very deserving. Great coach. Disciple of Coach Bruno. It's like Travis and Ricky.
Well,
So-
look, Bobby Blythe, Carl Flory, lots of talent on those coaching staffs. Right, Travis?
Yeah. Good men too.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I had Terry Hanratty on the radio earlier this week, and he was talking about Butler and Art Bernardi. You know, you think about some of the legends. I had Jim Render on today. We're kind of getting ready for the Allegheny Health Network Friday Night Sports Medicine Games of the Week. Another season on KDK Radio that I'm not a part of, I'm just a fan of. So we're just trying to build that camaraderie and community. And when you think of Jim Render talking about some of the names, he, of course, the winningest coach in the WPIL. I don't think I've ever talked to a coach, even those currently on the sidelines, like Coach Nardone with Beaver Falls, that somebody doesn't have a story about Larry Bruno. Steve.
Oh yeah, I mean Larry Bruno, geez. Yeah, a lot of stories about Coach Bruno, most of them positive. Not all of them positive,
That's all of it.
but most of them positive, yeah. I mean, he was so influential. I mean, the guy was, you know, everything he did was, he was such a leader for us. You know, all the generations that played, all the years, even represented right here.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh yeah, so he's, but plus Coach Bruno could tell a lot of stories too.
Oh, I know. I
Okay,
know.
but yeah, he was, yeah.
Good guy. All right, we're going to come back. Tell them about the dinner, July 29th, Jimmy Mag's Shadow Lake.
Shadow Lakes, July 29th. It's a Saturday. It's one of the best events of the year. Tickets still available. Come on out. WBVP is going to broadcast live from the
that's
venue, and it should be a fantastic night. So get your ticket. Come on out and honor some of these guys, and see a lot of people.
All right, Travis, come in a little bit closer on this one, Lance, just on the coach. So what did Larry Bruno really mean to a young kid from Braddock? A lot of success on the field, held all kinds of records at Geneva. You get that early opportunity. You go on to literally turn the New Brighton program around after Joe Hamilton leaves there and moves on. Larry Bruno, Larry Matrazo, go ahead.
Well, the thing was there, in getting the job there under him, I mean, you know, his reputation preceded him, and I knew that I was doing the right thing by taking the job with him, because I was telling the guys back here, after the first couple of years, a couple of our other assistant coaches left to take other head coaching jobs, and they asked me to go with them. And I said, well, you know what, if I'm gonna be an assistant coach,
Gotta be here.
I might as well stay under the best, you know. So that's basically why I stayed when I did, you know. But, you know, very influential, I mean, very intelligent football man. And it just rubbed off on you, you know.
Look, there'd be no Rob Pratt broadcasting sports without this guy. I owe him so much, we'd be here all night. But if you want to get more stories, he's at the Owls every Saturday doing what he does. All right, listen, we got more people here tonight. Absolutely love what they're doing here. You know, Digger Dawson, we were at the Upper Ohio Valley Lou Holtz Hall of Fame because that's where Larry Bruno went to high school in East Liverpool. And we just, so many great memories of the coach. And the best way to carry it on is by attending these incredible events that they have. Come on over and bring the kids, see what they have to offer here on 7th Avenue. And to get tickets for Jimmy Mag's spectacular event at that club at Shadow Lakes, in which they do incredible stuff, great food, fine wine, and good spirits, and great stories, themagicalcoach.org. It's your Pratt Pack. Back with more in Beaver Falls in just a moment.